Good afternoon, everyone. The bipolar astrophotographer is right here. Wanted to get on here and do kind of a quickish video. I have to leave in about 40 minutes to go to an appointment, and then I've got some errands to run. I'm trying to start getting organized for my trip. I leave on Saturday for my weeks-long girlfriend trip. I'm going to go visit one of my besties in Illinois, and then I'm going to go visit another one in Indiana. I've never been to Indiana before, so I'm going to get to see two really dear, sweet friends over the course of a week. So I'm really excited and looking forward to that trip. First things first, I hope that you all will join me in hoping and praying for the people of Florida. If you've been following me on here for a long time, you know I have family, quite a few family members in Florida. I'm concerned for my uncle in Sarasota and his girlfriend. I'm concerned for my uncle and some cousins in Orlando. However, I know that they're further inland and away from more of the severe threat of this, but this is an unprecedented event, and I'm very concerned for my family. I've been in touch with them. My parents have been in touch with them. They'll keep us updated as things happen. But, in July, I was just at Siesta Key, and Siesta Key is just south, I believe, of where Milton is expected to make landfall. Middle of the night tonight, early tomorrow morning, somewhere in there. So please just join me in holding these people close in our hearts, especially when we're far away. That's all we can do. I'm too far to just go pick them up and drive them out of there. It's all I can do is just hope and pray and, have peace with whatever happens, because the world just keeps turning and going the way it's going, and there's nothing I can do to prevent that. So I was just going to ask, it's not something I usually do on here, get involved with these kinds of things, but most of you know I have family in the area. I'm very concerned. We're all very concerned for them and their safety. And I would appreciate you just joining me in praying for them, because it's very, very scary, and it's very, very dangerous. Another quick note I want to talk about before I get on with this video is I had several of you ask for the file for the 3D printed little tool that my husband did for us to be able to switch out the filters without actually touching the filters. That video was a little bit, I think it was like 2 or 3 videos ago. It was just talking, I think the title of it is Switching Out Filters. For those of you who inquired about that 3D printed file link, I put it in our communication feed that we had going underneath, but I just wanted to let you all know that I also added it to the description of the video too. I can also add it to the description of this video, just so we have it in multiple places, because it is a really handy tool for changing out filters with these ZWO cameras, where it's really, really hard to get them in place because of all of the rings that give you spacing for things. So I can absolutely, I will add that to the link on this video. It's already added to the description on the video from the other day. If you have any trouble finding it and you want me to email it to you, just email me at thebipolarastrofotographer@gmail.com, and I can get you the link for it there too. The target I wanted I keep running into the wall. The target that I want to discuss today is the Dark Shark Nebula. I have never shot this target before, and it was a hard one. This one was a really, really tough one to shoot. I went for it for 2 nights in a row. Well, I actually did 3, but the data that I got on the very first night I went for it, I used my husband's. This is a correction I have to make also. When I was out changing filters, and I didn't want to get off topic here, I noticed that my husband's filter is not the L Extreme. He told me it was the L Extreme, so that's what I told everybody I was using. But when I swapped it out the other day, I noticed it's actually the L Enhance. So I've been using his L Enhance. Well, we bought, we decided that the L Extreme, because that's what we thought we were using for so long, was such a great filter. He ended up buying it for this little scope we're going to put out here. So we will have the L Extreme to use now and be able to swap through and rotate through. But what I've been using is the L Enhance, and I just wanted to correct myself because that wasn't cool. I'm like, you told me it was the L Extreme, and I just saw it's the L Enhance, and I don't know what to do to correct this, so I wanted to just put it out there. I've been shooting with the L Enhance. But the first night that I shot the Dark Shark Nebula with the L Enhance, it did not go well. The data, I told you there's a street light over here. I think that it crosses over the top of my dew shield, and maybe I might be getting some residual light there or something. It's very strange, but I was like, I'm taking that off. So I took off filter. Then I did it without a filter, I think the second night, and it too didn't look great. I think the last 2 nights I ended up using my L Pro filter, and that was what was really the most helpful with this street light over here. I really didn't have to, in my processing, I really didn't have any correcting in that way with this like ringing. It's almost like a flare from the light out there. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of set the record straight. So these 2 nights that I shot of the Dark Shark Nebula are with the L Pro filter, not the L Extreme or the L Enhance, but the L Pro filter. And I just looked up all the data so I'd have it here to share with you. Let me get myself a little bit smaller here. Whoa, that's way too small. Okay. This is all the data I collected on those 2 nights with the L Pro, and it ended up being just under 13 hours worth of data. So this is 12 hours and 50 minutes. Now, I thought I would show you what I'm dealing with straight out of the gate when I just do a screen transfer function on this baby right after it's stacked. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it here. Let's do a quick gradient correction. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but there is structure to be seen here. And I'm going to rotate this also. Let's just give it a minute. Okay, so there's the gradient, and then let's rotate it. I keep being in the way. Let's rotate it 180 and throw that on there. Sure. Okay, so this is actually the orientation that I finished off my edit with. Now you can kind of see some things here. You can see that would be like the eye of the shark. You can kind of make out the mouth a little bit. This is that really pretty, there's like a stripy, wispy nebula here. It's kind of blue with these guys, with these stars up here. You can see the differences in color down here, the cools versus the warms. And over here is this kind of funky looking, I think it's a galaxy right here. So there's things you can make out on here, but the structure is really, 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 really tough. And I'm going to tell you right now, I had a very, very difficult time processing this. This took me days of restarting, trying different things, restarting, doing other things, restarting over and over and over again. I couldn't, I'm very picky. I'm my best competition when it comes to this because I want to outdo what I know I can do. That's just me. That's how I've always been with photography. I want to beat my previous whatever. So that's why I restart and do a lot, especially with a tough target like this. So what it ended up being, I'll just put myself down here for a second. The final result ended up being this. And I'm pretty okay with this. This is a tough one. Let me move myself a little smaller. This is a really tough one to shoot. I can't, or not shoot, to shoot and process. I think this target only gets up at its maximum, maybe 56 degrees. It's not high up. If I had tried to go for it earlier in the season, maybe the September new moon, I might have been able to get like twice as much data. It might have made things a little bit better. But considering my obstacles here with the light pollution and that, especially that one light over here, the problems I was having trouble with the data that I got, this is pretty good. I was pretty impressed. I got some really good structure out of here, up here in the mouth area. It almost looks like teeth a little bit, you can see. I love the way this blue wispy stuff, it really came out even better in color. This cool little galaxy over here is very unique. I need to look up and see what that is. Down here, this structure even, it almost looks like the little underside of the shark or where fish would swim alongside it. We've got the cool versus the warm stars. So all in all, this turned out really, really good considering the data that I was working with right out of the gate. I mean, this was really, really tough to work with. I'm not going to lie. I had some struggles. It was a struggle to get it. And like I said, I worked on it for days. But somebody commented on Facebook that I jumped the shark, and I thought that was just great. I was going to title my video "Jump the Shark," and then it's kind of associated with a negative thing, right? Because of happy days. So let me look up what it means. Jump the shark. because there was also a really positive meaning to it too, which I'd never heard before. Oh man, there was a really good one. Because I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but it's funny. The jump the shark is it's usually with my mouse is in my face. It's usually with TV shows, and it talks about to reach a point where something stops becoming more popular or starts to decrease in quality, and that's of course because of the Happy Days episode where where the Fonz jumped the shark on water skis, and then the whole like series kind of went downhill from there. And so, but anyway, there was another. Let's see, jump the shark. There was jump the shark, positive meaning. And it was cool, and I wish I had saved it. Let's see. Maybe it's under translations and more definitions. Ugh. Darn it. It was funny. It was really funny. Positive. Let's see. Maybe it's with the Urban Dictionary. No. Ow, that makes me mad. Because I don't want this to be associated with the negative meaning, but there was a positive meaning and I can't find it now. But it was something like reaching for something beyond what you thought you could reach for or something like that. And so it was like perfect for the Dark Shark Nebula, right? Because it was like I kind of jumped the shark a little bit in that way. Like I don't want this jumping the shark with to like degrade my YouTube and, everything go downhill from here. I don't expect that to happen, but it was funny because there was another one and now I can't find it and I should have looked before I started the video, whatever. But yeah, it was something about like to reach beyond your limit or something like that. And it makes sense too. So anyways, I guess you could say I jumped the shark. I caught the shark. The fact that I caught it was really exciting, and I'm just very happy with how this turned out. I know that if I added more data, but there's another thing. Like I could say, oh, if I add more data, it'll get even clearer. Well, I think because of like where we live, light pollution wise, that may be my limit. That may be the best I can do. More data may not help. We've just got such a fight with light pollution here that if I was at a dark sky, yes, I could improve on it. And I will save my data for the possibility of that actually happening. But until then, I think that this was a really good start. I also went for another dark nebula target, and I'm not going to reveal it yet, but it'll actually be up again. The dark shark is pretty much going to be it's not going to be shootable for the November new moon if we have clear conditions. But the other one that I went for should be up well enough I could add more data to it, which I would like to do before I really get invested. I've tried to process it several times and I just think I need some more data on it. So I'm going to put it aside, add to it in November and go from there. But I have two other targets. Well, one for sure. The other one I don't love. One of them turned out really good. The other one I didn't love. But I'm going to share those. I'm going to try to share both of those with you guys before I leave on my trip. Otherwise, it's going to have to wait until I get home, which is fine because sometimes I don't really have a bunch of content to put out there between new moon cycles. So if I don't get to it, there'll at least be something coming. If I don't get to it before I leave for my trip on Saturday. So at least we'll kind of keep the flow of content going out there. But yep, just wanted to get on here, talk a little bit about what it's like to jump the shark in poor light pollution skies here. And that's really a tough one to do. It was a lot of fun to work on, but it was a lot of frustration as well. And I'm happy with it. Like I said, it could use some improvement under better conditions, but given the challenges that we have here, I'm happy with it, and that's all that matters. All right, well, I better get this sucker uploaded and maybe make myself a cup of coffee before I take off. But yes, just continue to lift up those in the path of Milton, family, friends, just all of them. It's a hard situation. And I just wanted to make sure that I don't have a huge following and I don't have a huge channel, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody was reminded that, we all need to be thinking and hoping and praying for those who are potentially in a lot of danger because of this storm. But thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for your kindness with everything that I've been doing on here and what I'm going to continue to be doing. It's been so nice to not really have to talk about mental health. I've been very well balanced this season. It's amazing how hard the last 8 or 9 months were. I just feel like everything has eased off. I'm doing well. Travel is always a little tough, but I'm getting to see 2 wonderful ladies that I just am so thrilled and so excited to get to hang out with. And if I have any experiences worth sharing on YouTube, you know that I'll do that. All right. Thank you guys so much. Prayers for those in the path of Milton. Self-care. Take time for yourself. Take care of yourself. Protect yourself from whatever it is that's coming your way. That is not a selfish thing to do. That is a very wise thing to do. All right. Catch you next time. Bye now.